Hi, I'm Mark, a co-production coordinator for Making Space. We'll explain how co-production works in practice and share some great examples across the organisation. We'll also introduce you to Making It Real, a framework for personalised care and support, and our Making Change group, which works on improvement projects. So, when did co-production as we know it first be identified? Let's chat to our CEO, Rachel.
First kind of originated around about the 1970s in public services in America, and there was a big piece of work where people were looking at communities and public services need each other to actually coexist. When that happened around the same time in the UK, there was a piece of work done by the King's Fund, and that piece of work was looking at relationships between patients and doctors in hospitals. And again, very much talking about this system only exists because there are two equal partners in the system. There was this move for social care and healthcare to be a marketplace, a little bit like going to Asda or to Tesco's to buy your milk and your cheese. And people forgot that there were people involved on both parts. So sort of late 80s, early 1990s, co-production disappeared. And I think thankfully, because of the movement for people who have a disability or for people with mental health conditions who wanted us to look at a social model of support for them rather than a medical model, co-production came back again and became something that we all talked about a little bit more. There is, in the Care Act, a statutory responsibility for organisations like us who deliver public services to ensure that co-production takes place in our services. When you're having services delivered to you, there is a power relationship there, and we've all been in public services where maybe we felt like we're being spoken to the way we would prefer not to be.
Making It Real was introduced by Think Local Act Personal, and the framework helps services to improve based on perspectives of people accessing services.
Making It Real welcomes people to not just sit down and answer questions, and again, go back to that kind of transactional way of working. Be open about what's working fantastically well, what could be improved, and how can we all work together to make those improvements.
Co-production and Making It Real helps people we support and staff to change things together. I met Wendy and carers at Derby Dementia Support.
We've got about 14 groups across the city. We try and cover all different, huge variety of topics so that we try and capture as many people as possible. So they go from crafting groups to groups outside where we do a garden, exercise groups, musical groups that always go down really well.
If you're caring for somebody with dementia, it's places like this that get you out, that get you talking to other people, and that you're not on your own, you're not the only one, you're not the only person in that situation.
Getting out and about is the best thing that you can do, but sometimes that can be really stressful when you're caring for somebody with a diagnosis of dementia.
The service co-produced a leaflet on dementia-friendly places from the viewpoint of someone living with dementia. The project got people out and about to research locations and make recommendations.
We went along to all these different places for them to explore, so it was mainly about enjoying the day, but looking if they've got any problems when they're visiting somewhere so that they can pass that information on to others, and then that gives people a heads up of what it's like and how they're likely to enjoy each venue. Toyota gave us the use of a minibus, which was fantastic. The printer gave us a very good price for printing the booklets.
That is one of the best examples of making it real that I know of.
Derby offers amazing support and unrivalled opportunities for people to shape the service.
We'd come from a room of crying because our mum had been diagnosed, and then we sat in this room and we've got all these opportunities to join things. Well, she goes to all of them. They're so lovely, and they always, if they see there might be some kind of problem or I've had a bad week, they take me to one side and make sure I'm all right. I'm glad we found it. I would be lost without it, and I know my mum certainly would be.
They're always doing a lot of those surveys. We do a lot of filling in of those.
That's really
I fill
good.
it in, and the people that I bring, we get their take on how they think about it, and their families, what do they think.
We know where we're going. We're going to make it as happy and as light as we possibly can, aren't we, Duck?
Yes.
We're going to smile.
You've got to make the best of it.
If it wasn't for making space, we would be isolated. You would be in the house all day with nowhere to go and nobody to talk to, nobody to see.
Cara helps to put co-production into practice with young carers in Cheshire East.
You don't often get teachers kind of asking their students, how would you like me to run this lesson, or, what would you like to be part of this future lessons that I'm planning. They came out with some things that were brand new to me and my colleagues, and really, really invaluable. They said that it would be brilliant if all of the young people who access our service could have the same input, and I completely agree with that. I often see now on interview panels, young people are being involved when the role particularly is relating to young people, and that's something that we will be doing as well. If we need to recruit for our team in the future, we absolutely need their input into what they would enjoy and what would benefit them. Ultimately, what would they attend? There's absolutely no point me sitting, at my computer and planning away, and then they turn around and say, well, actually, we're really keen on something relating to kind of gaming. We don't want to go outside.
So, CoPro offers benefits not just to people accessing care or support, but staff and volunteers too. Here is Ian to explain about our Making Change group for improving the organisation.
In my opinion, the Making Change group is a very welcoming and open group of different people. And there's a difference between a board or a committee, if you like, of managers sitting around the table coming up with ideas, and co-production, where this is people from all levels coming together and putting their ideas together. This is more of a combined effort, that you get more ideas, you get more clarity, and it's better than it was before. It's give me more confidence. Don't ask me for my opinion if you don't want to listen to it. But with Making Space, they always listen. The purpose of the Making It Real is to make people who we care for, they all have needs. We all have needs. And by making it real for us and as an individual, that then makes us want to be or feel, we do feel valued by the company. As you know, I've been involved in some recruitments, and that has been absolutely fabulous. I've really enjoyed them, and I've come home very, very tired because it's quite a long day, but I feel so energised, if you like, as well.
I met Maria and members who work together on projects at our day service in Warrington.
I help people that come in who are experiencing mental health problems, and they could be long-standing mental health problems that are more severe, or they could be just a period of mental health, a period of poor mental health that they're going through.
How much say do you have in the activities and the things that go on?
I am honest with people. I tell staff what I feel sometimes.
Well, that's good.
So,
are the team approachable?
They are approachable. What of positive things came from the estate centre?
Yeah, oh, they're good.
Yeah, we do a timetable every 6 weeks for what we're going to do, weather permitting, and it's up on the notice board so people can decide whether to come or not.
And you post your progress
on
our co-production.
I do, on co-production, do you? Yeah.
On our co-production Facebook group.
Everyone is so different, and things that have worked for some people haven't necessarily worked for others. So for example, there's someone who we tried to engage in the groups here. So we worked on his interests and the things that he could offer, and he ended up volunteering, and he actually volunteers here now and runs the arts and crafts service.
That's
and he's
fantastic.
Amazing. He ended up giving me a load of pieces of watch pieces to play with, and I was a bit like, oh! And then I got really into it. We got into it together. He's just got so much to offer and so many skills and so many interests. And when I met with him, I could see that straight away.
How do we enable people we support, carers and volunteers, to be equal partners with staff? A great place to look is Rotherham Dementia Carer Support, where I caught up with Amanda and the team.
For the first hour we normally do activities, arts and crafts, quizzes, and then for the second hour we have a live entertainment.
My name's Ricky Graham, I'm going to sing you a few songs.
She was the store manager at Boots for a long time.
Yeah.
And she was
been a manager for years.
at Boots. What I'm hoping to get out of it is some social contact.
I enjoy dancing, I enjoy music, I enjoy everything. Well, I've been like this about 5 years, and I'm still here. And I still feel young, so...
A number of volunteers have cared for someone and offer invaluable insight and expertise.
The volunteers are, in my opinion, an essential part. My function, as I see it, and that of the other volunteers, is to get in here, try and tune into people, and for an hour or two, just transform their lives a little bit. That's it, yeah.
Yeah, it's a great feeling to know that people appreciate what you've done, you know, and just being among them's the main thing.
When my wife went into care, that's when the cafes first began in Rotherham, and I sort of jumped into the deep end really, because although I was working as a volunteer, it was as much for my benefit as for the people that I was wanting to help, because I still needed that sort of support. And myself, along with a lot of other volunteers, I've gained a lot of experience. So now I find that what is important is being able to meet people in a social sort of atmosphere, but try to get them to talk about what their particular problems are.
Sandra's husband used to attend the groups, and she continues to support the service in a huge way.
She's been through dementia with somebody. You have a wealth of knowledge in your head that you can relay to the new ones that's coming in. It's close to my heart, and it's vastly important to me to get people into these cafes, because once they get to know, they form a group of friends who become their support, plus they enjoy it as well.
Sandra's charity shop helps to raise much needed funds for the service, and she is closing in on her fundraising target.
I'm just 5,000 short from the target of 50,000 to leave in a legacy, so that when I'm not here anymore, the music will continue for 10 years. Because there'll be money there for it. That's my aim, plus keeping it going as it is.
Fantastic fun.
So it's doing very well.
Finally, we'll look at co-production in residential care at Kings Hill in Wigan.
Kings Hill residential home, the use of making it real is a shining example of how that should really be used in services.
One of the residents introduces us to the team and people who live there.
I'm Joanne and I've lived at Making Space for nearly 3 years. It's been a lifesaver for me and I've turned my world around.
The thing about Kingshill is I feel safe, you know.
Do you get the chance to decide what you want to do, decide how far you want to go with things?
Oh yeah, I'm encouraged to do things, but I'm never pushed, if you know what I mean.
Colette, the manager, and Steph, social inclusion coordinator, help to bring about the perfect conditions for co-productive practice.
We're a recovery and rehabilitation service. Everything that we do at Kingshill we co-produce with the service users, so they take the lead on absolutely everything. So the social inclusion team, they work really hard with getting the service users involved with activities, living skills, training, all that's captured within the Making It Real action plan.
Encourage the service users to chair their own meetings. So they have a say on exactly what they want to do, so it's what they want to do, it's not coming from me as staff.
Your job role is, encapsulates a lot of what co-production is, which is where everyone gets the chance to create things together.
Try and ask them what they want from the service, and that's what we work with. We put on what's not working as well, and then we try and identify how to overcome.
We do baking, play games, bingo.
I would never have been able to go for a meal, and I've been for 2 meals with Kingshill.
Get a lot of volunteers that are students, so student nurses, health and social care, etc. So we support them, we do an induction with them when they come to Kingshill, like we would with any staff member.
I've been with the social inclusion people, so they've been offering activities for obviously the service users, and I've been reviewing care plans as well, which I think is like really, really interesting.
I hear a lot from the people we support, but in Kingshill I've got a pen pal, so Jo will write to me quite often to let me know what she thinks. We have a little bit of a letter exchange every couple of months, me and Jo, and I love the fact that she knows she can do that, really. So.
Well, I can go one better than that.
Oh, okay.
We have Jo on camera with a message for you.
Really?
Do you want to have a look?
Oh, I'd love to, thanks Mark.
Hi Rachel, it's Joanne. She's saying, I'm still here at Kingshill Court and I'm enjoying it and I'm ready for moving on. Take care and I hope to see you soon.
I love hearing from Jo. She does write to me often and she is always very open about things that are going well for her and things that aren't. Moving on's worrying for her and she'll tell you about that, and what we're trying to do is that bit about share power and kind of give her all of the knowledge and the skills that she needs to achieve absolutely what she will achieve in life.
So, co-production is based on the belief that people want a life, not a service. Everyone has a wealth of knowledge and experience. By enabling equitable opportunity for all, this helps people to go beyond simply receiving support or care, so that we all co-produce and own it together.